Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with today's load prompt, and I'm doing the day 10 scrap lift in Scrap Squad's 12 days of summer or autumn scrap lifts. You'd think it was summer with some of the pages I've done. This one has all these hexagons in the corners and a photo cluster in the middle. I'm going to do something like that, and I was inspired to do a kind of a harvest page. The load prompt is based on something that's been passed down in your family, and certainly growing things and harvesting things is something that my grandfather and my father and my brother and I all have a lot of experience with, and my uncle who lived next door and all of my dad's brothers, were vegetable gardeners, if you will. This year is the first year in, I don't know, since I've been an adult, maybe, that I did not, well, I guess the year, like when we were living in Brussels, and I didn't grow anything that year. It wasn't, I couldn't move my gardening stuff there. I didn't want to buy gardening stuff there and have to leave it there. And we had a really nice deck at the back of we were in the penthouse apartment, and we had a really nice deck that got a lot of sun. And there were many times I wish that I'd had a garden, because it would have been a nice thing to kind of go out there and take care of. But it didn't have water up there. There wasn't a hose bib, so I'd have had to carry buckets or water containers. You don't want to hear that. Anyway, so because when I place these things, I needed to be sure I had enough and all that, I went ahead and laid them out. And I'm going to, while I'm talking to you, I'm going to go ahead and glue them down. And then I will cut off I'll trim after it's all done. The technique prompt was to use something from a pattern or something from the 60s, the hippie era of the 60s, that is still popular today. And I don't know if it's about it being popular today, but this floral print to me is a 60s kind of print. All of these papers that I'm using are October Afternoon, and they are from a variety of different collections. These jars, of course, are from Farm Girl. And I hate it, but I'm kind of getting down to the end of what I have of that collection. So, and this, I think, is from Woodland Park. I know there's some public library in there, and there's some Daily Flash. And those are the collections that I have anything left from. I love this big old chipboard, and that chipboard is from I think, I forget, Daily Flash. Let me get some tape to go behind here. Kind of throwing things around today, apparently. And these photos are not from this year, obviously, since I didn't grow anything this year. But when I went, how I came across them was I went looking for some fall photos. I wanted to see if I had any fall foliage photos. And so I did my search in my phone, which has 53,000 photos. I did a search for autumn. So it found all photos that were taken between September to December. September, October, November, I think, are the months that came up. And it is shocking how few fall foliage photos I have. And but I did find some. But in those months, I found lots of harvest, you know, the stuff we pulled from the garden. And the tradition, the family tradition around all of that was that it was time to plant the fall garden when it got cool enough to plant the fall garden, which usually contains some radishes. Radishes are good spring and fall. They germinate, the seeds germinate quickly, and they mature quickly, so you can harvest them quickly. And I just love radishes. Okay, so let me get these down here. Anyway, so our tradition was that when it was time to harvest, we would there were always tomatoes, and if they were red, they'd get frozen. We were not canners. My grandmother had done some canning, but we were not, at our house, we didn't do canning. But if they were red and ripe, we would freeze them for to make spaghetti sauce and stuff like that. So if they were green, we didn't fry much. In fact, my mother didn't allow frying in the house. So we set up a frying station outside. Is that going to work? That will work. And it was kind of they got sterno cans, and enough to power a deep fat fry pan. And so the only fried food we had was when we slice up the green tomatoes. And we also didn't have, I know fried green tomatoes are kind of a well-known Southern tradition, but it wasn't something we ate a lot, or even, very often, that once a year. And I'm going to do this. I want to be sure this fits, so I may need to scooch it over a bit. There and there. And then I'm going to slide this kind of under there. I kind of want it somewhat adjacent to, but not necessarily part of that. Now, I have some pieces that I cut. Let's see. Get this. How did I have that? Is that about right? No, that's not right. Like so. Okay, and this I'm going to stick right there, and then I will do this adjacent to it. Ooh, I should have used the other side. Let's see, I don't like that one there. I'm going to put the blue one there. And these are, I'm putting these at a different orientation from these, and that's intentional. That works. And does this work? I don't know that I want any more of that. I want my title to fit in here. And I think it will work right there. I want it down far enough that you can see the T. Let me see if this, I don't want to use that. Let me see if this one, I think I'll just leave it like that, and I'm gonna put a butterfly on top of this to kind of push it to the background. There, and there. Let's see, I'm gonna do this butterfly maybe like so. I have this that says heart and home, and I think I'm gonna do it across the two rather than look for two of these and put one on each. I cut these out so that it would look like Polaroids, because in the 60s, I was doing a lot of Polaroids. I had a Polaroid camera, and my parents had a Polaroid camera, and they let me use it to take photos. I had a job taking photos of Polaroids of kids with Santa Claus at the local Western Auto store. So I've had a job, and I've been a professional photographer. I think I was, I don't know, 15 maybe at the time. And I remember I had my first experience at responsibility, painful responsibility, when I accepted the job, and then there were all kinds of activities, including one football game that was, everybody, it might have been the homecoming. Well, it couldn't have been homecoming, but anyway, I had to say no to that because I had to work that night. And I thought, okay, what is all this about? I have these two left, and I'm not going to use them. I'm going to trim these, but first I want to add some little brads, and I will place them where I want them to go, and then I'm going to go about cutting the backs off and gluing them down. But I won't make you watch me do that. So I'm going to kind of do one right here, and that red one is pretty there. I like this one because it has the tomatoes on it, and I'm gonna actually put that one down. Let me get my bad scissors and get those down. So anyway, I thought the Polaroid shape of the mat there would kind of be reminiscent of this time period. I can't do it with liquid glue, so I need to do it with this, and this is going to take forever, so I won't make you watch me do all of them because I'm going to try to use quite a few. But this one, especially, I want to go right here, here on the side where the tomatoes are. There we go. And then I might put a group of small ones over there. So I'll put probably one here, and you know, a few in the little openings that the hexagons create. So nothing magical or well thought out, I will tell you. But I will do that after it's over. So right now I'm going to trim this, and I will let you go, and I will see you next time. Bye. Thanks for watching.